Okay, who likes FORTNITE?
We like FORTNITE! We like FORTNITE! We like FORTNITE!
Hey guys, enter the stars. We're going to cover FORTNITE. FORTNITE is an online video game that was first released in 2017 and developed by Epic Games. The game format is Battle Royale, or Last Man Standing. Now, we all know the immediate threat that games like this pose, acting as soul vampires, sucking us away into empty virtual realities. But the more sinister threat goes far deeper. Platforms like this are used as Pied Pipers to a greater New World Order agenda. From transhumanism to gender fluidity and the desensitization to violence, of course. We also have themes of pedophilia and cannibalism. FORTNITE, Save the World, is a player versus player environment game set after a fluke storm appears across the Earth, causing 98% of the population to simply disappear. And the survivors are attacked by these zombie-like husks, they're called, like a corn husk. The players take the role of commanders of home base shelters, collecting resources, saving survivors, and defending equipment that help to either collect data on the storm or to push back the storm. Now, there are many fruit and vegetable references referring to people or children. We exposed much of this in a playlist that I put together called Vegophilia, where children are mocked as fruits and vegetables because the fruit of the plant is the young, new, reproduced generation of that plant. So there's corn husks. There's also a tomato head that is a complete mockery of Christ. It has a crown of thorns, but instead of thorns, it's forks and knives. There's your cannibalism reference, and so on and so forth. And it's all there. Now, the obvious pre-programming in FORTNITE is indeed their story. Most recently, the meteor, a threat from space, the rising of the dead, the ancient power of the cube, the occult symbolism on the headstones and boulders, which looks like an eye of providence, but it also looks like the pedo symbol that was identified by the FBI. And then each of these characters has these skins, and many of these skins have, of course, the pyramid and all-seeing eye. It's a very Marxist game. You can dress as animals, witches, warlocks, demons of old, cybernetic organisms of the future. But every featured female character has a masculine skeleton. So this is all about gender fluidity and transsexualism. The shoulders are wider than the hips. They've got giant hands, square jaws, just like in Hollywood. Gender confusion. And it's a pivotal aspect of this programming, as this entire New World agenda is all about mixing all the races back together. See, God divided the races because they were challenging God, trying to build the Tower of Babel. And there is a Tower of Babel-esque type of dimension to this game, and we'll get into that later in this decode. Part of this are dance options, and this is where you get the feminization of men. And dancing occurs before killing is done. And of course, here is the hyaloid canal, the inner eye, that connects the convex lens of the inner eye with the outer vault of the inner eye firmament. And we had covered this several years ago. This is a discovery that we made that the shape of our universe probably mirrors the features and anatomy of the inner eye. We see that reflected in the game FORTNITE. Of course, though, it is the evil version of it. Now, I lived near Vandenberg Air Force Base in California for several decades of my life, and I always believed that the rockets that they launched at weird hours in the middle of the night were simply attempts at breaking through the firmament. Well, FORTNITE seems to depict exactly that scenario. A rocket launch that ultimately causes a crack in the firmament. Then the crack allows a purple cube to appear, which is consumed by the zombies as food. Now, purple represents the red and blue bloods mixed together. The fallen angels and humanity mixing. And this is what the devil wants. And the cube, of course, symbolizes the time prison that we live in. That's why Saturn has a foreshortened 3D cube on its North Pole, or at least we're told that. We live inside the firmament. We're mixed here with the fallen ones. There is only one way out, and that is the narrow gate. Now, some of these characters fly around on umbrellas, and I believe that that has everything to do with Nut, the sky goddess, who is depicted as an umbrella. She is basically depicted as the firmament, a canopy of stars. And she is the cow goddess as well, and this is where this milk reference comes from as well. The Milky Way. This is what these people worship. They're trying to break through it. Now, this entire game seems to be a foreshadowing of end times. And it also seems that almost every single element that we've decoded in the past is now coming out in this game. Milk, pizza, cubes, vegetables, narrow gates, hollowed canals. It's all there. Take care and be safe, you guys.